All right. Well, thank you again for tuning in. This is the next great edition of the Navigating the Coronavirus Economy series that we've started all the way back at the end of March or beginning of April, which seems at this point like it may have been decades ago, but it has been just about 6 months. So thanks again for tuning in. And today's guest, I'm really thrilled to have on with us because she is someone who has figured out a way on how to effectively use client testimonials and customer test references in your marketing and in your sales pitch. It's really effective. It's really cool. I really like how she does it. And I think for all of us that are in business, owning a business, running a business, in sales, in marketing, there are so many cute, clever, fun things that you try to do. But at the end of the day, cute and clever doesn't produce. And so, but when you effectively communicate your value proposition and you can showcase what you've done for previous clients in their own words, I think that's pretty powerful. And so that's one of the main drivers for us, why we've asked TC to join us, who she told me right before we started, TC stands for Too Cute. So we are glad you are here and her company is On Fire Ignites. And she's going to walk through this, what should probably for most of us should not be a new way of using references or testimonials, but it is, and she's figured out a great way to do it. And so I'm thrilled to turn things over to TC to share her knowledge and information and showcase to all of you how this works. So TC, take it away.
Okay, so we're going to share my screen. Let's see here. Do I share my screen? Oh, I share my screen.
Yeah, you can share it.
Yeah. Okay. Technology works when TC also can stand for technology challenged. Kind of thing. So, all right. So let's see here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I have some interesting things or opinions, and I call them TC opinions because I look at things very differently. And what my clients have told me is that one client said, you kind of spin me around, make me dizzy, and turn me in the opposite direction. All right. So I'm going to start off with I was raised on push sale. Okay. Where you said, here, give me your objection. Let me kill it. Let me push. And then everybody went to consultative selling. And the challenge with consultative selling is what my clients are telling me is sometimes ends up being a therapy session and people have a hard time getting people to actually sign. Okay. So here's a couple of TC opinions. Number one, everybody tells you that you buy from people you know, like, and trust, right? Nope. And I'll prove it to you. Okay. So Tom, you got two people. All right. You have to sell your house now. Have to. Mm-hmm. All right. You have a friend who just got their license. And then there's somebody in town that that they get they get full price plus, and they sell in a few days. Who do you hire?
Yeah, probably that person who's been doing it for a long time, who's got a proven track record.
And that's what most people do. Now, here's the question: do you know them? Do you like them?
Maybe.
No. Maybe. Yeah. You don't know. Okay. Do you trust them? Yes. And the reason that you trust them is based on what other people said. Okay. The other thing is that everybody's into value propositions. I want to give everybody my value proposition. And I say, prospects don't care. If I went and contacted your clients and said, what is their value proposition? They go, I don't know. Okay. Same thing with client benefits. So one of my clients was telling me the biggest benefit that she gives to her clients was that she truly listens to them. Really, truly listens to them. And I says, prospects don't care. Prospects only care about the problems you solve. So I did a little test. I went back to a bunch of my clients and I said, what is my background? And nobody could tell me because it doesn't matter. I've never talked about it because all I talked about is the problems that we could solve for them. So let's go to the next thing. I want to share with you today some of the problems business owners, salespeople, and companies have shared with us regarding sales, the whole sales process. Okay, so let's start with that. First of all, we're going to talk about getting testimonials. So what we hear is they're hard to get, hard to ask for and challenging to get. Clients don't know what to say. When they get them, the quotes are not specific enough. They're fluff, not facts. They're Tom's amazing guy. I really like Tom. Okay, all right. Video testimonials are traditionally hard and time consuming, and people are uncomfortable getting on the camera. So one of the things is that we've interviewed over 1,000 people to get testimonials for businesses. And the very unique thing that we found that was interesting is that the more transformation you made, the more information, the more movement, the more they like you, the harder it is to get a testimonial. And everybody goes, well, what are you talking about? I says, well, here's what happens. They go to make you a video, they go to write something, they don't know what to write, they want to make it perfect, you did so much for them, they kick the can. Okay, so I want to talk about how to get testimonials that actually prospects care about. So the first thing I want to tell you is one of my clients told me, she said, before working with you guys, I was getting testimonials asked backwards. And I go, okay, explain that to me. She goes, well, I'd go get a testimonial and then I would use what I could in the testimonial. Now what I do is I know specifically what problems I solve and I go get very specific quotes. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is how do you get those quotes? Well, first of all, you never ask directly. So, if I say to you, Tom, hey, Tom, give me a testimonial about, how getting testimonials. You're going to be like, okay, that's kind of stressful, right? Okay. So here's what we say. Tom, I'd like to share with you some of the things our other clients have told us and get your feedback. Can you see how different that is?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I tell you what the other client said, all right. So for example, the other clients told us that it's really easy to get testimonials now. And they actually enjoy it. And I start giving you some examples. Now I've directed you on there to get the quotes that I need. You love it because one of the things one client told me, she goes, I'm blown away by how many of my clients thank me when they're done because we've got it off their to-do list. The other thing is nothing kills you more than when a client says, you've helped them leap buildings in a single bound and they didn't mention it in the testimonial. It's like, oh, so what you want to do is you want to remind them of their wins and their transformations. So you say, you know what, Tom, I helped you leap buildings in a single bound. Would you mind talking about that? Okay. Here's something that is kind of different opinion of ours is that results, numbers don't matter. And everybody, when they're getting a testimonial, they would always tell us, well, I want to know numbers. Everybody wants to know numbers. I says, yeah, they're not so great. So I'll give you an example. If I say that, if I get a testimonial, we had one that says, I increased my business by 126%. So I can find that particular testimonial on every single person's competitor's website, right? And what is 126%? Did I have $100 and go to $126? Or I did revenue of $1 million. I increased my revenue of $1 million. Okay, well, how much profit was there? Did I spend $1 million to get that? Here's a better one. My sales increased so much that I had to hire 2 new people. That's a totally different feel. So when numbers are okay, but when you talk about the results of what happened, if you get them to talk about those, that's totally different. Okay. Now, one of the things that we share is we talk about testimonials should be in bricks, like Lego bricks. Okay. And you should break them down into each subject. So for us, one is getting testimonials. Another one would be creating a video, presentation. Each one is different. And the reason for this is you want to get them all the time. We're all doing Zoom meetings now. So every single time a client says something amazing, stop and say, oh, wait a minute, can I capture that? That makes a total difference. The other thing is that at the end of every Zoom meeting, you can say, hey, can I share with you some of the things I'm hearing from my other clients and get your feedback? Oh, by the way, I'm going to be using this in my marketing. Makes it totally relaxed for them. Okay. Also, when you are recording, let's say you are going to get someone on and you're going to actually do a video testimonial, record it in short bursts. So what we do is we record each brick by itself. So we'll say, you know, Tom, we're going to record each one of these. You know, I'm going to share with you what other clients have to say. And then I'm going to get your take. But by the way, I'm only going to share one or two things that they've shared with us. So if you want to record this little small part, you can. This way you can break them up. So what we call wow videos, where you have multiple clients sharing the same thing, but also you've taken the stress off of somebody recording. Because a lot of people that are recording are introverts. By the way, most of the planet is introverts. And nothing makes them more stressed than try to record. Well, if you're recording a testimonial that's like 2 minutes long and you mess up in the middle, you got to record the whole thing again. So talk to me, Tom. What do you think?
I think you're exactly right. I think, I know firsthand that trying to get testimonials, and we have some great reference videos and testimonials, but they are exactly what you described. You know, when when the camera is not on, someone could be just glowing, full of references, recommendations, giving you all kinds of amazing feedback. And then the camera goes on, the light goes on, and all of a sudden they freeze or they forget what to say, or that one awesome thing, like you just said, they said, you know, you were, you know, amazing, and give this wonderful thing you want them to say, and they forget about it. And it's not that they're intentionally trying to, they just forget. So yeah, I mean, all of those things resonate. Absolutely. I totally understand that.
Okay. All right. So what I want to share with you is what our clients have told us. Okay. So before trying to get testimonials like pulling teeth, now it's super easy. Okay. I have quotes that are actionable, quantitative, and speak specifically to the services we provide, not just glittering generalities. The other thing is, I wouldn't have known what to ask for and pull out of my clients. And I love this. I'm getting things that they wouldn't normally think of saying, but so glad they did. And this one's so fun. I almost got stuff back like, oh, Sam is great. Okay. Now my clients talk about the problems I actually solve, and those convert much better. All right. So let's talk about another thing too, is they talk about video testimonials. You never knew what clients were going to provide you. Now they have a way of directing the client in a non-painful way. And we have tricks to make people feel way more comfortable on camera. And they're all good about articulating why they do business. Okay. Oh, and also they're so happy to get off their to-do list, because you know you want to get that person a testimonial, but you just keep putting it off. So once they get on and they just direct you, they love it. All right. So let's talk about the next thing. Selling is not people's favorite thing. Okay. They love providing their services, but the selling part isn't so much fun. And that's what we're hearing. So they don't want to be salesy or pushy. They found it awkward to toot their own horn. Hard time articulating their value or the problems they solve. And some people just don't feel as confident as they could. So here's some solutions. Now, they're now having a conversation versus selling, because they're using their clients' words. So instead of saying, I do, they say, my clients say. It changes the entire feeling of the presentation. It changes it from a presentation to a conversation. So what they do is they're sharing, here's the problems people are having. Here's what my clients are saying, how I resolve it. Here's the problem, here's the solution, but my clients are saying the solution. It makes it so much easier for people to hear. Also, their clients truly articulate their value so much better, because the cobbler has no shoes. I do great marketing for everybody else, but try to do my own, oh my gosh. Okay, I have to hire it out, because it's really hard to do the marketing from ourselves. Here's one thing that one client told me, okay, is they said, you know, I just started using this just recently. So I started working with them, and they just started using their clients' words, just talking to prospects here and there. They says, oh my God, it feels so different. And because they don't have to brag, they just have a lot more confidence. Okay. So what do you think, Tom, about that?
Yeah, I mean, I I mean, look, as someone, I'm probably the extrovert. I don't mind being in that. So can relate to the fact that most people don't like selling. Most people don't like doing that. And it's the number one thing that I hear from salespeople or anyone who is anti-sales. They say, "Well, I don't want to sell," and so they don't get it. And so you're exactly right. I mean, this is positioning it like um like a just uh, presenting that. And TC, and just just as someone who's and just so for our audience here, we have begun using and working with TC and her company and kind of going through this process. And I don't know if I'm the customer that said that to you or not for that, just starting to kind of incorporate the use of that, but just starting to say, well, here are some things our clients have said or what they've done just in conversation, not even fully integrated. And the impact has been, uh, it remains to be seen in the client, but from the person saying it, the confidence skyrockets because it's like, oh, wait, I'm not just saying I'm beautiful and lovely and wonderful. No, no, no. That my customers are saying that. Our customers, and they do say that. And so now we're just saying what our clients say anyway. So anyway,
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
and here's the thing. Also, we focus on the problems we solve. So instead of focusing on the benefits we give our clients, we talk about the problems. Here's the problems we solve, and our clients tell them how we solve them for them. It's a totally different feel. So here's what some of my clients have said, okay? Our clients have told you that my clients really articulate my values so much better than I can. It completely changes the sales process when I use my clients' words. I'm now having conversations, not selling them. My clients, in essence, brag about me, okay? And it sounds so totally different when I share what my clients have to say. And I'm a lot more confident because of that. Okay, now let's talk about sales presentations. All right, so here's what we're hearing is a challenge. Number one, they're too long. They have too many details. They're too salesy. They don't clearly explain the problems or address objections, and they're really not using clients' quotes as much as they could. So let me show you some solutions. First of all, I want to talk about biggest challenge that people have with presentations, okay? Especially my engineer people, my detail people. And by the way, they're the ones that provide the best services because they're so detailed, right? Okay, so I have a car to sell, okay? Or actually you have a car to sell, okay? And I come in and say, how fast does the car go? And you go, it goes 500 miles an hour. And you drag me over and you open up the hood and you start telling me all about the engine. Now, I personally don't care about the engine. I don't care if there's squirrels underneath there or hamsters. I just want it to go 500 miles an hour so I can get away from the police. Okay. You're proud of the engine because you built it. We want to show the engine. Now, will I want to see the engine eventually? Yes, when I'm ready to buy. But when I come talking to you, let's just talk about how fast the car goes. That's what your presentation needs to focus on. What problems do you solve? And are these problems that you're solving important to prospects? You know, I'll go back to my one client where she was in her presentation was how she listens to people. Okay, that, you know, nobody listens to them. Prospects didn't hear that as a problem. We took it out. It wasn't a problem that prospects focused on. What was a problem she solved for prospects makes it totally different. Okay, all righty. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, here's the thing. You want to use your clients' testimonials everywhere. Everywhere. So if you notice, it's really important to have it. Here's the problem. Here's what my clients say about it. Here's the problem. Here's what my clients say about it. So here's what my clients say about it. I was afraid of being salesy. You know, my clients' words, they explain the problems I solve. Okay, it's far more natural. I have a conversation with them using what my previous client said. Okay, we use what our current clients to show the prospects the problems we solve. Okay, also it answers all the objections. We take the elephant in the room and address it right away. And I'm not having to preach what we do here. My clients are telling them firsthand. All right, so now we're going to talk about the next thing is your sales funnel. Now, One of the things I talk about a sales funnel, okay, is I mean your entire sales process. I don't care if it's online, I don't care if it's offline, I don't care what it is. We're talking about your entire sales process, everything from your website to posting online to all your marketing collateral. All right. So I'm going to give you some unique ways to use testimonials that you might not have thought of. All right. So let's talk about converting online inquiries. So somebody contacted you. I don't care if they contact you email, messenger, I don't care. The point is that if your first response to them is what my clients say, instead of we can do this for you, it changes the conversation completely. The other thing is social media posts. Every single testimony you have right now should be a social media post. And the way that you do it is, remember, in social media, you're only supposed to talk about yourself 10 to 20% of the time. 80% of the time, you're supposed to talk about giving value, right? Well, here's a trick. You take a social media post, you take a testimonial, you take one piece of it. So let's say for us that they say that, you helped us get testimonials really well. Okay. We're now not having to brag. Our clients are doing it for us. All right. So we make a picture of those words from the client. Then we write a couple sentences. The reason it's so important that your clients brag for you instead of you is it'll make you feel more confident, and we make it into a post. So you could have, and that now I'm kind of bragging about myself, but I'm not, right? Getting around that little corner thing. Okay. Now let's talk about referrals. People want to refer you, but they do not want to sell for you. So I want to refer somebody. If I have a video from that person of multiple clients saying why they should hire that person. So for ours, we send all of our clients a video. All of our referral partners have a video of our clients saying why they should hire us. Now all they have to do is pass it along. They don't have to explain us. They don't have to tell anybody what we do. They don't have to do any of that. All they have to say is, you know what? I think that you might find this interesting. Here's a video of what their clients have to say. Really good. All right. Again, when I talk about social media, I am talking about the social media posts, but I'm also talking about making sure, I want to go back to that, making sure that you tag the person who said it, because we got a huge amount of response. One of my clients, he had a video and he was getting about 300 hits to their video, but then he tagged somebody that said it. So they said, it was an exercise coach. Okay. And they said, he tagged the person who had the video in there and she shared it. Well, guess what? It was over 2,000 hits because she shared it. So make sure that you tag them. Now, here's an interesting one, email signatures. In your email signature, put a quote. Now, I'm not talking about putting the whole testimonial. I'm talking about taking one or two sentences and putting it in there. And you can keep changing it out. So every time you send your email out, you have a testimonial there. Now, here's a really neat one, okay? I've only had one bad day. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And there is only one putz. So one, nasty person out there. They just move around a lot. Okay. I'm totally laughing here.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When you start your day, go watch your testimonial videos. It changes your mindset. It puts you in a different place. It reminds you why. When you remind somebody, you remind yourself why people are buying from you, from their perspective.
TC, that's a great suggestion. This is a brilliant idea. I mean, especially for anyone in sales or marketing or the owner or CEO of the company, all too often you get rejection all the time, especially sales, the leader of the company, it's just problems and fires and you don't get when you're on the floor or the at the customer level, they're usually generally pretty happy with you. And so you get that feedback regularly. But if you're not in that, or you run into a series of a few bad days or a couple of weeks where it just feels like you're just getting rained on. There's a, the rain cloud over top of you that's just pouring down. That's a brilliant idea. That's really good. Well, I think we're going to start using that with our team. That's a great idea. Appreciate that.
I can tell you, we have a dentist, okay, and her rule is if they have a patient that's a putz, okay, the technician has to go into the room and watch 5 minutes of videos before the next patient. And they don't care if the next patient has to wait, but they won't let them go from one patient to the next patient.
Interesting.
Because they will affect. So if you have somebody who's really challenged you and you get off and you're like, they just kicked me in the gut or whatever it is, go before you would talk to anybody else, go watch your current testimonials. It'll change your mindset and put you back in that mindset again. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what our clients have to say is there's just so much material we can use for our website to attract the right clients. And one client said that they used sent a prospect an email with a testimonial, and the prospect answered back, these testimonials are both informative and ensuring. So anytime you're sending an email to anybody, including your clients, include a testimonial, okay? And, you should hear what other people, and this person says, you should hear how other people are using our services. Clients hear about me through someone else's words. That's the difference. Okay, so let's talk about the close. Everybody freaks out about the close. Now, there are some of us who just are good at it, but most people, okay, we all could use help, right? Here's what the clients are telling me is they want it to come naturally. And the other challenge that they're having is they're awkward answering objections. So when a natural close and they're awkward answering objections. So let's talk about that. When you use your client's words to answer objections, it becomes very natural. It's much easier. Instead of you answering it, you're saying your objections. So when somebody says, I don't think I'm going to get ROI. Well, instead of saying, well, I really believe you're going to get ROI and blah, 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 blah. So, no problem. Let me share with you. Can I share with you what my clients have to say? Totally changes their thing. Now, here's the thing. How do you get quotes that answer objections? That's hard. Everybody goes, I have no idea how to do that. So I'm going to give you an actual example. Okay. So let's just say that I want to get a no time. Okay. So the way I would do this, I'd say, Tom, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to pretend that you referred somebody to me. Okay. And they called you up and they says, you know what? I really want to work with TC, but I have no time. What would you say to them? Do you see how that worked?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say to somebody to them? You get your client's words. So let me give you some actual examples for us. Okay. My clients are answering all of my objections. They close the sale for us. Before, I really hated dealing with objections. Now I just let my clients do it for me. Okay. We overcome specific objections. Gives you a chance to handle the objection before it even comes up. Your past clients are handling the objection for you. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is, of course, I have an offer. But what I want to do, Tom, is I'm going to have you unmute and I'm going to pretend you're a prospect. And we're at the end of the presentation, and I'm going to walk you through this, okay? So the first thing that I will say to you is, Tom, do you mind if I share with you some of the objections that clients have had before they bought? No problem, right? Okay. So it was either getting ROI, they had no time, or they felt they could do it themselves. Does any of this resonate with you?
Yes. Yeah. I would say I can do it myself. I like to do it and, get in and do that.
All righty. So here's what my clients say. I tried getting testimonies myself and it didn't work so great. Okay. This helped me get much better quotes and testimonies and made it very easy. Okay. If you don't understand the system, you're just going to get fluffy stuff. I love that. Okay. You really need to have the whole system so you don't waste your time getting testimonies that are fluffy. Okay. Heartfelt testimonials that I could have only gotten out of them through my own, I would not have gotten out of them through my own means. Don't waste your time. Do you see how much easier that was as giving you, instead of me saying, well, no, Tom, you shouldn't do this on your own. Totally different feel. Okay.
Yep.
Then the next thing I would say to you is Tom, let's do an overview. Okay. So the overview is you're no longer going to have to toot your own horn. Your clients will do it for you. Using your clients' words to articulate clearly, you'll be using your clients' words to articulate clearly what problems you solve. You're going to get specific, concise testimony quotes and videos, facts, not fluff. A presentation is natural and has your clients selling for you. You're going to have quotes from your clients that answer objections. You're going to find out what your clients really think, move clients through your sales funnel quicker, a unique way to close, which is so much more natural. Okay. How to use your testimonials to create content that engages. And here's the thing. Once you get the quotes, they're evergreen. They last forever. So Tom, out of all of these, which ones grab you the most?
I would say the how to use your clients' testimonials that generate content for engagement, quotes that last forever, and the facts, not fluff.
Okay. So what I have done, and I'm stopping, pulling back the curtain, showing everybody, is I've gotten Tom to tell me why he wants to buy. To tell me what excites him. Okay. So instead of me telling him, he's telling me. Then the next part is I will say, well, Tom, would you like to know what's included? And Tom says,
yes.
Okay. So you're no longer, so here's what's included. We're going to show you how to get specific quotes about the problems you solve, the secret to getting detailed video testimonials. Okay. We're going to update or create a brand new sales presentation for you. We're going to have a unique before and after email, before the presentation, after the email. We're going to show you where to use your quotes on your website for best results. Now you're going to have a simple system to create a follow-up campaign, the best way to use the quotes in all of your marketing, and your testimonial page will go from 0 to hero. I take this opportunity again, and I say, so Tom, what do you like? Do you see how that works? So now Tom's going to tell me what he likes, and I'm getting more information from him. I'm digging this information. By the way, when you give people the problems, every time you show the problem, you ask them, you say, well, what are your thoughts? So I want to go back because something I didn't share and I wanted to make sure I capture that, okay? So if I say, so Tom, are you having a hard time closing?
Sure.
Does that feel, but does that feel like,
yes.
What do you mean? That's kind of like direct, right?
Yeah.
But if I say, Tom, let me just share with you what other businesses are telling me. They're having a hard time closing. They're really uncomfortable at answering objections. Tell me your story. Okay. It feels different. Okay. So you do it that way. All right. Okay. Then I say, well, would you like to know how it works? And if you notice, I keep asking questions. How does it work? Okay. So we're going to have a 90-minute one-on-one session where we're going to figure out exactly the problems you fix, create the first draft of the presentation, and we're going to go over how to get detailed testimonials. Then you're going to have a 30-minute one-on-one session. It could be with you or a VA of how to create those bricks, how to cut them out and put them back together. Then we'll have another session where we're going to finalize your presentation. You're going to create your before and after email, and we're going to talk about how to use it in all of your marketing. And then the last thing we'll do is once your presentation's all up and done, we will have somebody do an actual dress rehearsal with you. And by the way, we're in beta right now. And the reason this all started in beta is my company, the other thing that we do is we do what's called netcasting. We help people use podcasts to get in front of decision makers. And I had a bunch of my netcasters come to me and say, look, your prospecting system is really smooth, but when I get to my sales presentation, there's a disconnect and you do it so differently. How do you do it? I want to do it like you. So I thought about it and I realized because we've interviewed so many people, I naturally say, my clients say. That's why we call it the My Clients Say system. Okay. And so I went and re-entered in, and so now it's in beta. So because it's in beta, all the sessions are one-on-one with me. Okay. All right. So if you want to learn more, first of all, I'm telling you the price right now. It's only $1,000. And that's all one-on-one. It will eventually be a group class. The normal price is going to be $3,000, and I'm a very direct person. In fact, my old company was called Very Direct Marketing. Okay. But I believe that I need to do this with one-on-one with people and walk them through and make sure that they're having incredible results. So I'm going to put, can we put this in chat? My link in chat, because TC is technology challenged. Okay.
Yes.
Right. And also too, the name of my company is On Fire Ignites. So the website is onfireignites.com. In fact, let me see if I can put that in chat. And now I can open it for any questions.
Great. So do we have any questions for TC while we have her here, as we've been going through this?
I did such a good job.
TC, I'm going to pull. Oh, Yvonne got that. Okay, great. Thank you, Yvonne. Perfect.
Yeah. And here's the thing. When I tell people, you know, it's a one time, I walk you through and I work with you. And like Tom, we've been working together.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And I think that one of the things that you have been sharing with me, and by the way, it was so neat because you shared with me something another client shared with me the same day.
Oh, that's funny.
It all came together. But basically, what you guys were telling me is this really changed the way that you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think for me, and this is, and by the way, just so that the audience and people who are tuning in know, there's no like tie in here with, there's no back end or kickback or anything from TC's company to ours or to me or anything like that. I just think what she's doing is really innovative, and so much so that we are a customer. I thought, hey, this would be great. We should be sharing this. Our clients and team members in our network should know about what's going on with this. This is a really cool way of thinking and doing things. And it really just forces you to shift around, because if you've been in business for really even, I mean, really even 6 months or a year or more, you're going to have customers and clients that like you and think you've done great work or provided a great product or service. And being able to articulate that and capture that and just transform your mindset on how to um, communicate that to your clients. Because how do you say it without being braggadocious? I'm not one, I don't like to, the spotlight does not have to be on me, which is ironic considering we're doing webinars and podcasts and stuff. But it's not something that I naturally want to always be front and center, which is why I always like to have guests. So our guests are the front and center star. And so when we go through this is a way to say, well, how can we talk about ourselves without talking about ourselves, to say what our clients say? And hello, right in front of your face. You know, this is what our clients actually say, and we just tell what our clients say. So that has been a big mindset shift to really be thinking about. I think there's a lot of value in it. And, you know, the response so far has been positive. I mean, it's been a short time period, but just even in my own presentation and discussions with prospective clients, to be able to reference our clients have said this or said that or experienced this, it gives a different connection to the process.
So one of the things that our clients keep telling me is that they now have a process. So she says, I now have a process to get testimonial quotes. I get them every day now. I don't have to put in my thing to ask the client to give me a testimonial quote. It's part of my process. It's part of, you know, you're going to have this many meetings. Okay, here's my meeting. So, you know, that is really, really powerful. One of my clients, he's an IT guy. And he kept getting this one objection over and over and over, that he was too small. Now he has large clients, but he talked to a specific client and said, no, you're too small. You can't take care of us. So we created a video of his large clients only talking about, remember we talked about the wow videos, right? Only talking about how they're a large company and he is able to provide them with exceptional service. Okay. So he gets on with somebody else who's, you know, taking bids, and the person said, you know, I don't want, you can't give us a bid because da 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 da. And he goes, do you mind if I just send you a video of what my clients have to say? Would you watch it? And the guy says, sure, I'd watch it. Send it back to him. he got an email, send over your proposal. He would have never been able to answer that. He could have said till he was blue in the face that I can handle you.
Mm-hmm.
But having a client, and it was multiple clients, not just one. It was multiple clients saying that. So the part of the system, Tom, is that we show you how to get those quotes, how to direct the client to give you the quotes that you need. And there's all kinds of little tricks and things that you haven't even gone through the whole process yet. So, but all kinds of little tricks to getting those, because we've done over, like I said, we've done thousands of them.
Great. Okay. And there was a question that came in here, TC, that says the testimonials that you put on your website or in your emails, the quotes, for example, like on this presentation, or do you do it in quotes or on video? Is one better than the other?
Okay, so let me tell you how I do it. Okay, so when I send a video, and one of the things I do is I'll give you another little secret since you asked that. Okay, I record all my sales calls. All right. Now, remember, I am engaging. It's a conversation. I'm saying, here's the problems. What do you think? All right. Once they're telling me all those, I've recorded all that, right? Then what I do is I send it to a transcriber. So when I send you your email after our presentation, if you have not bought then, all right, then what I say is, just refresh your memory what you said. Then I will say, here's a video of what our clients have to say. Below that, I will put 1-2 sentence quotes, a whole mess of them. So I'll do both, because some people will watch the video, some people will read. It gives them the option of both. Okay. Now, what I won't, and I might send them a video of a specific person, but only will do that if that person is exactly like them. Same industry, or do you follow what I'm talking about? Most of the time, the videos I send out are what we call the wow videos. It's multiple clients talking about the same thing, or talking to different things, because that's more powerful. So instead of just getting, here's what Tom had to say, and giving a 2-minute or 3-minute of Tom, I'd rather give 2 to 3 minutes of different people talking. And does that help, Karen, at all? That's
yes,
kind of,
it does. Thank you.
Yeah, so I do both. I do both. Hi, Karen. Okay, I do both. Because here's the thing. If you are a quick reader, so for example, I speed read. I hate videos. I know I'm in the minority, but there are a lot of us. Okay, so to give me the choice of having a video or reading. All right. Also, if I see a video and I think I've got 2 minutes, I might not watch the video, right? But as I'm reading the email, I keep seeing all the quotes.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is when you share with them, so it's kind of like what my clients say, but what my prospect says. Just to refresh your memory, you said, and I use their exact words. So if I say, the problem about getting testimonials, oh yeah, this is my problem. Well, I actually copy that information. Remember, I sent it to a transcriber, copy what they said, and I put that in the email. And the reason that's so powerful is sometimes people don't make decisions. They have to talk to somebody else. Now they got to re-articulate everything that you told them. They're not going to articulate it very clearly, as well as you could, right? Nothing drives us more crazy. I got to talk to whoever, right? So during the conversation, I'll say, well, I've got to talk to my partner. Oh, well, what's your partner's name? Oh, it's David. Oh, do you happen to have David's email address? So when I send you some information, I can include him. Would you put that in chat? Now, when I send it out, it's going to say, just to refresh your memory, you said, you see? And then David gets to see what they said exactly, because I'm copying it right out of the transcript. Any other questions? Here's something that would really help me, if you guys can, and if not, that's totally okay. But what is your one big takeaway? If you would share that in the chat or tell us, that would be awesome. And Karen, we are recording this, right, Tom?
We are. Yes, we are.
Yeah, Tom already told me that I could watch it next week. So my apologies. I was
Oh,
I've
no,
been
no,
on
no,
multiple calls since 8 o'clock this morning. So
no problem.
Takeaway. There was a couple good ones.
Yeah.
Well, there was more than a couple, but I think I feel kind of stupid about this one, but once a quote is out there, once a testimonial is out there, it's evergreen. And I think that's a good thing to remember.
It is. People don't realize that. And see, okay, so here's another trick I tell everybody. I'll go to a website and they'll put the date on the quote.
Don't do that.
And I'll go back, you're not LinkedIn. Okay, you don't need a date. So take the date off. The other thing to tell you that is another trick that I do is in my presentation, I don't put any names. They're irrelevant. That's a big difference. Okay, you don't have to have the names. Now you want the names if you're posting it on social media, but for your presentation, your conversation, you don't have to have people's names because it just takes up space and they don't care.
But on social media or on your website, you would put their names?
Yes, I would put their names. Now, I'll give everybody another trick. And again, there's so many in what we do, but I'm giving you another one. All right. So I had a client, their client was Coors. Okay. Coors will not give testimonials. And this is true with a lot of corporations. They will not give a testimonial. Okay. So what we did with him is he didn't get video, but what he did is he told the person, turn off your camera and I'm not going to use your name. But what I am is he put VP of sales of National Beverage Company.
Could have been Coca-Cola.
Right. But the point is, the guy was able to give him the quote that he needed. He needed the quote. Now, video was gravy. He obviously didn't get that, but he needed the quote. So he got it. So now and so when you talk to corporations, they'll say, I can't. You say, well, what if we don't use your name? No initials, no name at all. We just use title and your industry. And they go, oh, I can do that. And then you're going to get all these, and here's the thing, your competitors don't have them because they didn't ask that way. Okay. And one thing I'm going to share right now, I'm giving some extra stuff as I'm thinking here. I'm going to, go to my website. So just give me a second. I got to get off of here.
Yeah, while you're doing that, TC, Brian wrote, he said his takeaway was addressing what problems you solve for your clients, just focusing on that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I will tell you that to really do that correctly, okay, and let me share my screen here. Did I share? Just one sec. Share TC's, well, let's talk about that first. If you try to figure out the problems that you address yourself, you're probably going to not have the right ones. Almost everybody that I talk to, when we talk, they're like, oh, this is what I address. And I'm like, no, that's not what the problems that you would do. They think it is, but it's really not. All right. What's important to us is what we've created. We keep going back to the engine. It's a natural thing for us to do. It's the most important thing for us is how we created the engine. That's what makes us different. My engine's different from everybody else's. So I want to keep talking about my engine. I don't want to talk about how fast the car goes, how well it turns. So when you have somebody else sit down with you and go, oh, wait, no, let's talk about this. Including myself. I didn't even do my own. Okay. So I want to share some things about websites. And again, I'm going to use my website. Okay. To show you, because we eat our own cooking. Okay. So I believe that your website should be your testimonials. Okay. So we have this here, but as soon as here's the problems. So we have the problem and we have what our clients say. Do you see how that works? Then we have the problems and we have what our clients say. So I have an opinion that if you cannot get a quote from a client about something that's on your website, take it off. It doesn't matter. Everybody has all these things about, here's my value proposition. Here's, here is my mission statement. Here's what, those don't matter. Prospects don't care. They don't care. All they care about is, what is the problem? How can you fix it? And it's much more powerful when your clients say how you can fix it. Everybody kind of see that? So focusing on your even on your website. I mean, literally every single thing that we do is talking about a problem. Here's how we fixed it. Problem fix, problem fix. That changes everything when you're having conversations with prospects. So here's the thing. One of the things that we start off with on all of our presentations is, do you mind if I share with you, I've talked to so many businesses. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this here. I've talked to so many businesses. Do you mind if I share with you some of the problems they've shared with me, what they told me? Do you realize how much that changes the feeling? The me saying, let me tell you about how my client say system is going to work for you. They actually lean into the camera. They actually go, oh yeah, I want to hear what other businesses' problems are. Everybody wants to hear that. And then, do they resonate with you? Tell me about that. What are your thoughts? Now you're telling me your problems. And the other thing too is, it's a vetting process for me. If I go through 3 or 4 slides of problems and you haven't connected with me, I stop the presentation. And I say, hey, I don't think we can help you. We're not a fit. We're done. Now, one of two things happen. One, they say, yes, you're right. So I just save myself some time. Or the other thing, they start telling me their problems. Because here's the thing. One of the things is a lot of our clients were doing consultative selling and we're not using a presentation. They said, I'm not going to use a presentation. I says, well, let me show you how we do this. This is a conversation. It's a directed conversation. So what they told me is, they said, well, now I can get to the problems quicker. I'm not building all this rapport so that you'll share your problems with me. Here's my laundry list of problems. And I get you to acknowledge whether or not those are your problems. And if not, that's okay. The other thing that one client told me that I thought was really interesting, she says, you know what? What I love is I no longer sell, I just find interest. Here's the problems. Here's how my clients told me, here's the problem, here's the problem. And if they have interest, they tell me. If they don't have interest, then I'm on to the next person. I don't have to convince them on anything. I don't convince people. Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. They're interested or they're not. So that's why when I address the objections ahead of time. Remember, let me share with you what concerns other people have. So I am complete unless anybody else has anything else.
Great. Thank you, TC. Anyone have any additional comments or questions for TC while she's here?
Thank you for sharing.
This was fun. Oh, I got claps. Alrighty. Well, you guys have an absolutely fabulous day.
Well, TC, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. She gave her contact information in the chat box there if you want to talk a little bit further, but we really appreciate it and looking forward to the next steps. Thanks so much.
All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And happy Halloween. So yeah, enjoy Halloween weekend.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.